what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Foot Candle Films. Film news and reviews from two guys who really like movies.
This episode is brought to you by the Foot Candle Film Society. For a schedule of upcoming screenings and membership information, visit the Society's website at www.footcandle.org.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Foot Candle Films here on the Mesh.tv podcast network. My name is Alan Jackson. With me is Chris Fry. We are both with the Foot Candle Film Society and the annual Foot Candle Film Festival held right here in Western North Carolina. And Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Good weekend?
I had a decent weekend.
Yeah.
I am, however, we had a taste of early spring, and then all of a sudden it got cold again. We're nearing the end of, we are kind of in the end of February. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for March. I'm ready for April. I'm ready for it to warm up and stay warm.
Yes, as Chris mentions that I am sniffling and dealing with head cold, not contagious. You're okay, Chris. It's just I was just made a dumb move of deciding, hey, why don't I try to work on a movie theater marquee outside, standing on a tall ladder in the blazing wind and cold of last night, and this is what I've got from it afterwards.
Sounds like it could be a Buster Keaton short. Alan outside on a tall ladder with it being windy, trying to change
the
a theater
ladder
marquee.
just swaying and me holding onto the ladder. So yeah, exactly. It would be. No, it was not quite that glorious or entertaining. It was downright kind of actually scary by the time I got into it. So self-inflicted damage here on my body, and I'm dealing with it today. But that will not stop us from doing what we're here to do on this show, Chris, and that is to review a new movie and also talk about some upcoming movies. The review we'll be doing is of the film How to Make a Killing, starring Glen Powell and directed by John Patton Ford. We'll be discussing that film in just a moment, our reflections on that film. And then we'll be moving into some movie news as we talk about some upcoming films. I've got a few trailers, Chris, that I haven't got the chance to see yet.
Excellent.
Kind of curious about. I thought maybe I'd share them with you and we could talk about them and see what we think about the films being advertised coming up soon. And then I think, are you going to have a recommendation for us?
Yes.
Chris has got a recommendation of a film at the end of the episode that he thinks maybe we might want to check out, something he's giving his stamp of approval to. So all that's to come, but first off, let's get right into our main review, Chris. It is the film How to Make a Killing. You ready to go?
Yes.
Let's get into it. How to Make a Killing, starring Glen Powell, Margaret Qualley, and directed and written by John Patton Ford.
Okay, gun to your head. What would you even do with $1 billion?
Why do you have a gun to my head? Since the day I was born, my mother told me we were different. Yes, she had been disowned by her family, but someday I would become the sole heir, the real estate, planes, an island or two.
Beckett. No way. So are you living in the city now?
Yeah, I do. A little outside of it.
Whatever happened to the Redfellow family fortune?
I'll inherit it. Someday.
Writer-director John Patton Ford's new movie, How to Make a Killing, is loosely based on the 1949 film Kind Hearts and Coronets, which itself is loosely based on a 1907 novel, Israel Rank, the autobiography of a criminal. Ford's film has Glen Powell starring as Beckett Redfellow. Beckett is disowned at birth by his obscenely wealthy family. His mother does the best she can to raise him on her own. When she becomes terminally ill, she urges Beckett on her deathbed to reclaim his inheritance. Last week, Alan, after our main review, we then watched three different trailers: Midwinter Break, Psycho Killer, and the trailer for How to Make a Killing, and then decided live on air what movie we were going to review this week. We chose How to Make a Killing. So, did we make the right decision, and what was your experience with the film?
It's hard to say if we made the right decision because I have not seen the other two films.
Sure.
My understanding, and again, I don't want to judge a film just based on other critics, but I do look at the other reviews for films that we don't see.
Right.
And it looks like Psycho Killer not doing too good.
saw
So
that-
maybe that was a good call
Okay.
to ixnay on that one.
Sure.
Midwinter Break's supposed to be pretty good. So
Okay.
I actually kind of feel like maybe we could have chosen that one and been okay too.
Okay.
But were we okay, or did we make a decent call in choosing to review How to Make a Living? In my humble opinion, yeah, I liked this film. It's simple. I mean, relatively speaking, compared to most films we're kind of dealing with these days and get released and shown.
It's not very convoluted plot
No,
or anything.
not very convoluted. Pretty straightforward. Here's the thing. I like Glenn Powell. I like him as an actor.
I think you're not alone.
I like seeing him. What's the phrase kids use now? Cook. I like seeing him cook. Like when he gets a chance to like do something good in a role. I like seeing him perform.
Sure.
And I think he's good. I was really a fan of his performance in Hitman.
Yeah. He was in Top Gun.
Who was the
Maverick.
director of Hitman?
That would be Linklater. Richard.
Oh yeah,
Linklater.
Richard Linklater. Yeah, he was in Top Gun Maverick, which I think is probably the first I remember him. Twisters. I thought he was probably the best thing about that movie. I really enjoyed his performance in that film.
Agreed.
So I had a good time with this. I mean, did it have a lot of heavy lifting to do? No, it was pretty simple movie. You could almost argue that the format might have been better suited to like a 4-part mini series on a Netflix or something like that. Just it's a little more just good to have on in the background, kind of good, decent entertainment, fun. I thought the comedy hit pretty well in it for the moments it had some comedy. I think the tone balance, it did a little shifting around with tones, but I liked the way the movie actually ended. Margaret Qualley, was playing kind of the role we've seen her play, I think, a little bit more recently. This, kind of seductress with a little bit of a mean tint to her. I don't know. It just there weren't any surprises in this film. There wasn't anything that like I stand back and say, "Oh my gosh, that was like really great the way this came about." No, it was just a good, simple film. Now, I fully admit my review of this is not very different.
Did you fall asleep?
No.
Okay.
My review of this is not very different to the review I did of Crime 101 last week, which is very similar.
Okay.
Here's the differences.
Sure.
Crime 101, unfortunately, I went in with expectations based on the director and based on previous work. This one, I had no expectations.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah, it doesn't do anything revolutionary, just like Crime 101. I felt like it did not do anything really unique or different with the genre. Is good, passable entertainment, which I said the same thing about Crime 101. I fully admit it is a management of expectations game for me. This one I had no expectations, so I came out feeling pretty good and having a good time with it. So, Chris, I want to hear your thoughts on How to Make a Killing. What did you think of this movie?
So, okay, normally, we often compare the movie we're reviewing this week to previous movies or, just because it's interesting to have a base that we're kind of going from. So, interesting to me that you brought up Crime 101 as a point of, completely different movie, but has a strong cast. This film has a strong cast as well. Different type of film. That was a crime thriller. This is crime, but more of a black comedy, dark comedy.
Crime comedy, yeah.
Yeah, not really a thriller because you're not like on the edge of your seat.
It had a couple moments.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I was constantly thinking of that movie as well. And something interestingly to me, this movie starts out, and I can ruin it because it's at the very beginning of the movie, it starts out with Glenn Powell's character, Redfellow, in prison, about to be executed. And I was like, okay, that's an interesting place for this film to start. And then the movie is all spent basically in flashback, him kind of confessing to this priest who comes in because, spoiler, he's about to be executed for what all he's done. And he kind of confesses to this priest, throughout the film, like telling about different things that happened and why he did it and everything. And so right out the jump, I was like, okay, so they're basically saying, here's this thing. It's not like I guess a more typical thing would be to show this happening and the very end of the film is him getting his comeuppance or whatever.
Right.
Instead, they kind of flipped it a little bit. So right off the jump, I was like, okay, interesting. I also found it a little interesting, or, not what I expected, that I like Glenn Powell as an actor. And like I was kind of nodding along as you were saying all the different films he's been in, and definitely with Twisters, he was the best thing about the movie. I expected, because I liked him in Hitman, I expected to like his character in this film. And I credit Glenn Powell with this right off at the very beginning when he's talking to the priest in the jail cell, his mannerisms and kind of how he's saying things. I'm like, I don't know that I like you. And it was really a good job acting, because the things he's saying about how his mom was disowned and she had to do the best that he could. And he tried, was raised and kind of, was kind of outcast because of this, with other people and all this thing. It should be building sympathy for him with me, but somehow, because just there's a little like underlayer of being snide, or kind of, even though he hasn't had this life of privilege, he is like just communicating with his body language and things like, oh, I just totally deserve this. And you get it because you're like, well, technically you do deserve it because you were part of the family. And but just something about it was kind of
Well, the interesting part of it is that we know he's on death row for something.
Right.
And it's like, so right away, it's like, yes, okay, we kind of expect him to be, he comes off very contrite about it, almost like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know what I did? Sure, I'll tell you what I did. Whatever. And it's like, but I like the framework of the film in that the whole film, you're kind of assuming, well, you're meant to assume that he's on death row for the things he's telling us about. But I kept thinking, well, this is a great framework to be some reason he's there that maybe is unexpected. And I think the film kind of delivered on that. Not as strongly as it could have, but I think it delivered okay in that regard. So anyway, yeah, I like the framework of the film as well. I agree with you. And I like the way, I like Powell's character in the beginning too, because it kind of, it set us up to go ahead, no matter how likable he is in his own flashbacks telling the story, we're still reminded, no, but this guy's got a dark side, and we saw it on the beginning, so that kind of carries through the whole film.
Well, and that's the thing, like in the flashbacks, that's where you feel a little bit more sympathetic for him.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, in the prison stuff, you're like, yeah, I don't, or at least for me, I don't like you. Right. So it's something about, so I was not expecting that.
It turns him into a little bit of an unreliable narrator to some degree too, because again, we're supposed to be like hearing him tell the story to this priest, and you have to kind of wonder how much of this is embellished in his mind of like him being the hero in this thing. So anyway, yeah.
And Margaret Qualley, I've kind of been all over the place with her as an actress. Yeah. I think she's a good actress, but just a lot of the roles that she. And it's interesting. I specifically think of the two Coen brothers. Well, not Coen brothers, but
Coen
brother made films, Honey Don't and Drive Away Dolls, which we reviewed. We
reviewed Drive Away Dolls. I did not get to Honey Don't.
Yeah, I didn't until recently. It was streaming on Netflix, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a chance. Better than Drive Away Dolls, but still not my favorite.
Yeah.
But anyways, she does play, like you mentioned, these characters that are kind of brash and loud. And this, in some ways, was kind of dialed down. But then it's like, nope, this is who I would kind of expect her to do. And she was interesting. I think it is one of my maybe more favorite things that she's done.
I think it leans into her performance style pretty well. And so, yeah, it's a little stereotypical for her, but it plays to her strengths. And it's a role I think she did pretty good in.
Some of the other cast, I enjoyed the moments they did have on screen. Topher Grace plays a relative that he goes after. It's How to Make a Killing. He goes after and like tries to kills people in order to get this inheritance.
Yeah, we never really set up the plot of the film, did we?
I mean, I referenced like, he does his best to reclaim the fortune or inheritance. He does so by, there are people ahead of him in line for the inheritance, and just knock them off.
Well, and the film has to balance that idea of, obviously we're talking about murder, but yet, I always wonder with a film like this where you're supposed to kind of root for the person committing a crime. It's like, does the film make you feel somewhat justified in the crimes? And I think this movie did, in a dark comedy way.
Sure.
It made it feel like, okay, I'm okay with following along this and laughing at this. There's I do think the moments
I like
of humor,
Topher. I like Topher Grace.
Topher Grace was very funny,
Thought he was
very
great.
good in his role. I think the film has a playful, light humor to it, and even just the smash cuts to the funerals, like just
Sure.
so on the nose. Like, okay, yeah, something happens, you don't know what just happened, and then all of a sudden, smash cut to here's the funeral. Like, okay, yeah, it's a simple little thing, but it still worked for me. It was funny. The timing of everything was funny. I laughed quite a bit during this film, more than I expected to. I think they got the tone right for it. So
Yeah, I also Bill Camp plays. I enjoyed his kind of narrative arc.
yeah,
Someone that of the Redfellow family that you maybe feel a little sympathy for.
yeah, you actually feel a lot. I think,
And
for
so,
him.
and actually, I guess Beckett actually has a little bit of remorse about something's
It
going on
became
there.
some drama kind of in the film. It's like because
Yeah,
when you've got the film gave us plenty of reasons to not like the people that were
Sure.
earlier in the chain.
sure.
But now we get to this one character, and it becomes a point of drama for the film. So yeah,
I can't remember if you see his name in the trailer or if you. I'm going to go ahead and mention it. Ed Harris.
yes,
And I liked, I thought he was good in the film. I don't understand why they kind of cloaked him as much as they did. I guess maybe because he was supposed to, they wanted you to know it was him, but they're showing him when he should have been a lot younger, basically when he kicks the mom out.
Yeah, it
and
could
then
have
they
been
show
that.
him like present day.
I don't know.
That's-
Something about him being cloaked is like he is the mysterious one that we never get close to until the end, and
Right.
I was okay with that choice. So,
I felt it a little, I guess, silly, but
Yeah.
but it's overall fine. I will say, too, you mentioned it. I'm not going to spoil it because we try not to do that on here on the podcast. And going back to the referencing of Crime 101, with this film, I was just okay with it, basically because it was kind of going along, not really, surprising me in any ways, except for that very opening part that I mentioned he was already in prison. But the way this film ends with
yeah,
there's a concluding scene and then a conversation in a cab and kind of a little bit of a direct address, kind of breaking the fourth wall with the audience. I was like, okay, that is interesting. Some commentary, I guess you could say, maybe about present day society and about things with
sure.
folks with wealth and all this but it kind of elevated the film. How it was people talk about with gymnastics or whatever, sticking the landing,
Yeah.
and this film, the landing, the end. I was like, okay, that elevates this film better than what for something like Crime 101. It kind of ends how you would think, and this was like, okay, not that it's a twist. But
No,
it's just
but
kind
it's
of a surprising place for the film to go.
Well,
maybe.
and it comes back to it reminds us the personality we met Beckett in the beginning of the
Sure.
film. And it's like it's come full circle. It's like,
Right.
yeah, okay, I get it. I remember. Yes, this is you get it. You
Yeah.
get why, this is going to end this way this did. No, I like the ending quite a bit too.
Okay.
It almost made the film it's not a Twilight Zone episode. I'm trying to think of some sort of serialized show, or not serialized, but non-serialized show where it's these morality stories,
If it
and it's
dealt-
like kind of ends with like a.
I got you.
You know,
If it dealt
yeah.
more with technology, it would be a Black Mirror episode.
Yes,
But
exactly.
It doesn't.
That kind of idea.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, it ends in a way that, yes, it's a commentary on us as a society, and yes, I got it. And,
Okay.
I liked it, and it did not end, in the typical Hollywood way they may try to force it to end. I was very happy with the ending. So,
Okay.
I was with a very, very small crowd in a theater. Like,
Okay.
very small, like 6 people. So not really. Does that even qualify as a crowd? Probably not. But they were having the time of their life watching this movie.
Oh, great.
Like a
Did
group
that
of
maybe
6.
help your opinion?
I think it did because, again, I think when you just hear an audience like just erupting in laughter at moments in the film that were meant to be played for laughs,
Sure.
and I admit it worked and it's infectious. So I think that maybe helped a little bit than me watching this in a silent theater or somebody or empty
Sure.
theater.
Right.
So that does help a little bit with it, I'll admit. But yeah, overall, I did have a good time with this film and thought it was. I thought it was fun. It doesn't deserve any awards. It doesn't need to be. I'm not going to go around singing its praises, but it's a film that I think, hey, yeah, you know what? It's a good hour 45.
Sure.
I had a good time with it.
Yeah, I feel like it moves along at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't like,
I was never bored. I was never restless with it.
Sure.
And I think the framework of the film kind of helps you with that. It's like,
It
all right,
does.
you got these bookends that you're automatically like kind of already questioning what caused him to be in the situation we see in the first 5 minutes. Okay. So that's one thing. Then this is the fact of there's a great visual family tree that they keep alluding to, which looks really nice, and it's just well done visually. And that kind of keeps you engaged too. It's like, all right, you're moving up, and at some point there's going to be the one at the top we got to deal with. And
Right.
I like the framework of the film. I think it was just built really well. So,
Interesting that you mentioned the crowd size. I saw it with a relatively small crowd too, and I was thinking like, this is opening weekend. I had seen trailers for this film, and I guess Glenn Powell hasn't quite hit that like Channing Tatum or something like that. Like he's not an extremely well known quantity yet, I guess. So, and this film, had it been like, could have been the thing that makes him like, okay, household name time. But I guess maybe, he's still great. So take another film to do it, I guess.
I think the part of the problem is I think they released it this time because I think they were hoping that The Running Man was going to be a big hit.
Right.
Because he was the lead in that film.
Right.
That did not do
The
as
Edgar
well.
Wright film.
They did not get the audience they were hoping for. That was kind of his chance to be a big star in a big budget action movie, and didn't work. This would have played a lot better.
Sure.
If that movie had hit and people were on the Glenn Powell bandwagon ready to go see him do his next thing. As it is, I still think Glenn Powell's really good. And I don't think he's as good in this film as he is in Hitman or even as he is in Twisters, because I still think he's really good in Twisters. But he's still good. He's still good in this. And I want to see him break big. I want him to get a really, really good, juicy role in a big, big film that puts him over the top, because I think he's got it. I think he's a really good actor. So,
Okay. Agreed.
All right. Well, that is How to Make a Killing. Sounds like we both came out positive on it.
Yes.
I mean, not enthusiastically positive, but generally positive that, it's a good film, right?
Yeah. I'm not in the, like you said, if we're going like 1 to 5 stars, the letterbox type ratings we do. Yeah, I'm not going to say 5, but I would say maybe 3.5.
I'm about 3.5 level for me. I think it's good. That's a good movie. So, all right. How to Make a Killing. If you want to see it in the theater, I'd go do it quickly because I don't think it's going to be around very long. But that means that streaming and online availability will be a little quicker for that. So, all right. Good deal, Chris. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got some trailers to watch and talk about some new films upcoming and your recommendation to get to. So stay tuned. You're listening to Foot Candle Films. We'll be right back in a moment.
Want to discover great podcasts or maybe even start one of your own? Welcome to The Mesh, Western North Carolina's podcast network built for creators and listeners alike. From local sports and business to comedy and culture, The Mesh is home to unique voices and fresh perspectives. Do you have something you want to say? The Mesh can help you bring your podcast to life with the tools, support, and platform you need to be heard. Check us out at themesh.tv, where great podcasts live and new ones are born.
Welcome back to Foot Candle Films here on the Mesh.tv podcast network. We had our review of How to Make a Killing in the first half of the show. Both of us coming out of that generally positive and liking that film. 3.5 stars. I think we were kind of in that out of 5.
Yes. I believe so.
That's pretty good number there. All right. We're talking now some new films coming out in the coming months. We've got some new trailers that I want to unveil. I have not seen any of these, Chris. I actually have like 4 or 5 to choose from, but I'm just going to pick 3 of them.
Question.
Yes.
Are we determining our review for next week based on which trailer we like best? We probably can't. These may not be all coming out so that we could watch them in time for next week. So maybe not. We're just doing typical.
No, none of these will be out by this weekend.
Okay.
These are all new trailers
Gotcha.
released, but for films that'll be probably like summertime.
So this is more typical trailer tapas type.
It is. No, I already know the movie I think we'll be reviewing.
Oh, okay.
This
Awesome.
coming weekend.
Cool.
Yes. Okay. We'll deal with that afterwards.
It's not the pout pout fish, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not the pow pow fish. There's a certain one word named individual prancing into our studios, into our theaters this weekend.
Okay.
Elvis?
He prances?
Well, not prances. He dances. He,
Okay, gotcha.
He grooves.
Yes.
Whatever. Into the theaters this weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
Elvis, the epic, the Elvis Presley in concert.
Yes.
That's what I will be seeing.
Okay.
It's either that or Scream 7.
No. I remember liking the original Scream, but
Yeah.
I'm one of these nerd completist people that if I'm going to go see,
You have to feel like you've seen all
I
the
want to
other
see it.
ones.
So I don't have time to watch all of them to catch up with Scream. So no, Epic's good.
So epic.
Yeah.
Elvis Presley in concert we will be reviewing next weekend.
Sounds
next
good.
week. Okay. Let's do this. There's a trailer for a film that I'm kind of curious about. I knew nothing about and just now saw the mentions about it. The film is called Pressure. You familiar with this?
Another biopic of Queen? No.
Oh, no. We had our one. We're good.
A biopic of David Bowie and
right.
Freddie Mercury at the
The
same
making
time.
of that song, Under Pressure.
No,
Actually, I
not-
would totally watch that because I love that song. But
Sure.
no. This
Not
one
that-
is a war drama, World War
Okay.
II drama movie.
Okay.
Thousands of invading American, British, and Canadian soldiers died on D-Day just trying to make it to shore. That grim fact props up Focus Features' new movie Pressure as a slow-boiling political thriller, more than your average World War II movie. This is a film that is talking about the 72 hours preceding D-Day and the decisions being made and how a Royal Air Force meteorologist forecast determines whether the conflict-changing takeover in France has even the smallest chance to succeed. So it's a real-life drama, World War II, D-Day, leading up to it, but taking the angle of the weather has a lot to do with it.
Okay. So, listeners to this podcast know
Yeah. Nothing I've described is intriguing Chris Fry in one way or another.
it's not that I do care about history, but I feel like I've seen most takes on World War II movies. I've seen a lot of World War II movies, and
Yeah.
it's an important period of history, sad period of history, a lot of, horrible stuff going on. But you mentioned D-Day, and I immediately think of Saving Private Ryan. And I'm like, okay, I feel like I've seen, the documentation of that. Or we go to something like Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, those two movies, like both when they came out, very, groundbreaking, they're very good movies. I like both of them a lot. But it's like, I think I've seen the best of that type film that I want to see. And then you mentioned something about decision-making to do certain things. And I can't remember whether it was The Darkest Hour, which I don't really care for that much, that or The Imitation Game.
Yeah.
But those films dealt with I think it was The Imitation Game, maybe, where it's like, we're going to send folks and we know this isn't going to go well, but if we let the Germans know that we know what they know, then they're going to know that we're on to them. So we're going to go, and unfortunately, lives were lost. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I have reservations just
Understood.
because
Yeah.
it's a higher bar if it's a World War II film, because I've seen so many really well done ones.
It is tough. And I think from what I see, okay, so just a little background on this. The director of this film, Anthony Maris, he did the film Hotel Mumbai back in 2018.
Okay. With, I think, Dev Patel,
Yeah, I
maybe?
think so, yeah.
I have not seen that film, but I have heard of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's co-written with David Haig. David Haig wrote a stage play based for this story that they're now adapting into a movie. So it's
I can imagine how in a play it might play really well.
Dwight D. Eisenhower
Heard of
is
him.
our lead character in the film.
Got you.
Played by Mr. Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
And then the Royal Air Force meteorologist, James Stagg, is played by Andrew Scott.
Oh, well, okay. So two names there that
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser,
The
him
interest
kind of
level
having
might creep up a little bit. And then Carrie Condon is also in the film as Eisenhower's assistant. And Chris Messina, Damian Lewis, and others round out the
okay, so
cast.
pretty
So,
strong cast. Not really familiar with the director, but okay.
All right. So let's take a look at the trailer for Pressure and see what we think here. Okay.
The final decision on the timing of D-Day will be mine, and mine alone.
Call General Eisenhower.
Tiger was a training op, dress rehearsal for D-Day. They walked right into it. One mistake. Just that one mistake.
Ike, you have to stop doing this to yourself. What's done is done.
Group Captain Dr. James Stagg, here at the express request of General Eisenhower.
Do we have a date yet for the invasion zone?
D-Day is in 61 hours from now. This is the largest seaborne invasion in history. Fate of the war, thousands of lives hinge on this. I need a forecast. Churchill tells me you're the best meteorologist in the country.
Get me the latest readings from every single base within 2,000 miles of Normandy. The invasion's confirmed for Monday.
All right, I feel really dumb, but I just got the title Pressure, like, by the end of the trailer. I'm like, oh, yeah, like weather.
Right,
Okay.
weather systems.
Got it.
Thoughts
on this, Chris?
The cast looks great. You know, the trailer. It's a great trailer. Something about, you know, the action stuff that they show. You know, they show a lot of beach stormings and things, and you're like, okay, you know, that's what they're building to. But I don't know. I'm still torn. I think it would make a riveting play, probably, which apparently they've done. I don't know. I still am hesitant because of, you know, having Dunkirk and having Saving Private Ryan, and you know, but you know, it's the build up. You know, like they say, the untold story of this back and forth on whether or not to actually do D-Day, which I guess a movie that we reviewed on the show, Nuremberg, was about the trials that happened after that. And that was an aspect that I hadn't really seen in depth because...
Well, I'm glad you brought up Nuremberg because that's kind of the way I feel about this. It's like I'm all for giving me a little different slant to something that maybe has been portrayed in film so well already.
Right.
But if you're giving me a different approach to it, a different angle, a different side of the story, I'm always game for that. And Nuremberg was a good example of that. I thought Nuremberg worked because it showed us a different side of the story that we weren't as familiar with. So, you know, and it was helpful from that regard. So,
I am curious because of my like hesitation about World War II films. I will probably, you know, kind of do a wait and see approach, but it does look good. I will say that. So, what was the release on that? Release date?
What was it, Chris?
Because sometimes that kind of keys me into how secure the studios are, or how they actually think about the film. You know, if it was coming out in the slow time, which is, you know, January, February, March, that would indicate maybe they're not as, you know, big on the film as if they were trying to push it. Because this film, with the kind of, you know, the music and everything in the trailer, and, you know, because it's a historical piece, if it is being pushed more towards September, October, November, that makes you think, okay, they're thinking this is possible Oscar material.
May 29th.
Okay. So
it's coming out in summertime.
Sure.
So they think there's
might be a big
for
release.
A little counter programming for anything coming out in the multiplex that time.
Sure.
Yeah. So we'll see. Okay. Let's come on to number 2. A dark action comedy is the way this is being referred to.
Okay.
Let's see. How do I introduce this? Jason Segel and Samara Weaving.
Yes. Okay.
Have you seen this?
I saw the trailer for this before How to Make a Killing, actually.
I did not see any trailers before How to Make a Killing because
Bravo, Mr. Jackson.
I timed my entrance perfectly to walk in right as the movie started.
Okay.
So I did not see it. So we're gonna watch it. This is from director Jorma Decoe, who pop star, Never Stop.
Yeah, one of the Lonely Island gentlemen.
MacGruber,
Yeah.
one of the Lonely Island guys.
Yeah.
It's a dark action comedy thriller about a dysfunctional couple who head to a remote cabin to supposedly reconnect, but each arrives with secret plans to kill the other. All right. Sounds good. We also have Timothy Olyphant and Juliette Lewis also starring in this film. So with that, Chris, let's just go ahead and jump right into the trailer and take a look at it. This is the trailer for Over Your Dead Body. I guess I never mentioned the name of the film. Over Your Dead Body is the film. And let's take a look.
Hey, how is it?
It's fine.
I just wanted to cook you your favorite food.
Steak's not my favorite food.
Okay. And what is your favorite food?
Ceviche.
Ceviche? You know what? I'm trying to make it nice for you.
Reasons! Just pretend it's happening.
Please don't do this.
Wakey.
What's going on?
Not much. Having a cup of tea and curious about these. I think you were gonna knock me unconscious, tie me to the bag of rocks you hid in the boat, sink me to the bottom of the lake. I think you just tried to kill me.
Because all you do is criticize me in your stupid accent. It's like British crossed with the devil.
Well, your plan sucks.
Your plan is to just shoot me? I was being nice about it. You would have been unconscious.
Oh, okay.
Because I am considerate.
Oh my God!
Stop it!
All right. I was probably on board with this film just from like seeing the people involved in it, but watching the trailer, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in. So
Yeah, it has that. Too bad they didn't put it out for Valentine's Day.
I know.
But a counter programming for Valentine's Day. But yeah, Jorma Taccone, being one of the members of Lonely Island and being involved in this, and I like Jason Segel.
Yeah, I do too.
So yeah,
it's Samara Weaving. I've been really impressed with the things I've seen her do as well too. I think she was wasn't she in the Bill and Ted Face the Music? I think she was like Bill's daughter, something like that. Anyway,
Okay.
I thought she was really good in that, really fun. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, again, double-edged sword. We always mention this when we do these little bits. Trailers can be double-edged. Hopefully, I didn't see everything funny. I don't think I did, but yeah, another great trailer. Yes, and I guess more because comedies. If it even looks the slightest bit good, I'm always excited about. So yeah, yeah. Over Your Dead Body looks good.
All right. Well, we will see. This one is coming out. I think it said at the April 24th. So
Nice.
At the end of the trailer there, but
Excellent.
Yeah, so coming out really soon. And again, it's funny we bring up this film, and we bring up the film we reviewed today.
Yeah.
How to Make a Killing. And we did Crime 101 last week. It's like these films that are one-off independent films, independent stories, meaning not necessarily studio, but like independent in terms of not franchise-based or not necessarily based off of pre-existing material. If they are, it's not like well-known pre-existing material or IP. I just, I love to see these movies thrive. So I just want them to be good and just have a good time with what they do on screen. So I hope so. Hope that's the case here too. All right. All that being said, I am going to show you a trailer for a big budget franchise sequel movie because I have to have balance in the show. And, we've been kind of catering to these smaller films. And
have you already seen this?
No, I have not seen this one.
Okay.
This is one that I know when it was announced, we were a little more controversial about it. Like we have the last two of these films controversial about whether this needed to be made.
Oh.
I'm talking about Toy Story.
Oh yeah, I'm in one camp and you're in the other. Yeah.
What camp was I in? I forgot.
You were in the we didn't need anything after 3. And
okay. I
really liked 4.
No, I liked 4 as well. I was still in the camp that we didn't need it, but it was fine. It was good.
Okay.
I'm probably still built up as we don't need another one after 3, but we got 4. So I mean, I guess
just go ahead and ruin it.
The dam is broken, so let's go ahead and keep on rolling.
Sure.
This is Toy Story 5. Very original title to it.
I'll say, too, it'd be one thing if they were cranking these out, if they took the Star Wars mentality that, they did before they kind of put a halt on major release Star Wars films. If they were just cranking these out like every year, every 2 years, or the Marvel type tack where it's like we're just flooding the theaters with these things. But they are waiting in between, which to me usually is a good sign because the writing is there. They're actually saying like, okay, do we have a good idea? Oh, you think you have a good idea? Okay, let me see a script. Okay. And like it's, there's a little bit more, contributions to the recipe and the baking and the cooking of the movie. So like by the time you actually get it, hopefully it's decent. So,
well, yes, agreed. I do like they have some new cast members,
Okay.
which I like all
They've
the ones.
kind of added some new people
every
along the way.
movie they do.
Okay.
And that's a little bit of the downside of all this is that as I read the cast list, it's like not only are there like 4 new people added that all sound really fun, but they're being added to the already so large list of people.
Right.
I mean, okay. The returning ones, obviously we got Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Joan Cusack, John Ratzenberger, Wallace Shawn, Blake Clark, Jeff Bergman, Annie Potts, Bonnie Hunt, Kristen Shaw, Ernie Hudson, Tony Hale as Forky, and Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom.
Right.
All of them in from
You
those
gotta
last
have,
few from
you
Toy
got to
Story
have
4.
Forky and you got to have Duke Kaboom.
All right, that's fine. But now we're adding in 5.
Okay.
We're going to have Greta Lee is going to be a key voice in this. I think she plays Lily Pad,
Okay.
who we'll see in the trailer. We have Melissa Villasenor as a plastic knife named Karen Beverly. That's random.
Okay.
Conan O'Brien is going to be a toy called Smarty Pants.
Oh, well.
Craig Robinson is Atlas. And and then there's some other ones, but I didn't recognize the name. So anyway, just building and building and building.
I know,
You
yeah.
know, if this is a superhero movie, Chris, you would be complaining about,
Sure.
oh my gosh, there's like so many people they're trying to cram into this thing. Like, well,
Right.
yeah, you know, each of these is going to have like 1 or 2 really good lines and scenes, and like that's going to be it. So, but anyway, hey, look, if it's fun, it's fun. We've already broken the dam with 4, whatever. Let's
Sure.
keep going. Toy Story 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. Let's do it.
Give me an excuse to watch all 4 Toy Story movies again. I'll do it.
Okay. All right. Well, this will be your excuse right here. So
Okay.
here we go. The trailer for Toy Story 5.
Do you, Forky, to Karen Beverly to be your beloved bride?
Yeehaw! I now pronounce you husband and knife. Oh, poison the maid of honor!
Bonnie, there's a package for you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
Oh, extinction! Not again!
Bonnie, screen time's over now.
Okay.
I want to talk to you, Device.
Please, call me Lily.
Me and the toys have been working all summer to try and get Bonnie to make friends.
Yeah.
But then you had to ruin
Got
it.
it.
You're not even listening to me.
I'm always listening. See?
Now look here, me and the toys have been working all summer.
Now in Spanish.
Con los gemelos Jordan, al otro lado del
What?
Yeah, I got dibs on behind the dresser.
Woody!
Jesse, hello?
Is it as bad out there for toys as they say it is?
We're finding more abandoned toys each day.
We're down! Tex invaded our house, too.
I don't know, Jesse. Toys are for play, but tech is for everything.
I'm losing Bonnie to this device.
You got a friend.
Okay. So here's where I am on this, Chris.
I'm in the bag.
It looks
I'm in the
fun.
bag for it.
It looks
I
fun.
mean-
It's fine. Just please, Toy Story 5, don't try to play this off like the last one and this big.
Right.
No, it's just another
just be
adventure.
okay with it,
It's all good. I think that's my whole issue is that Toy Story 3 was just so perfect.
And it
an
was
ending.
a good, you're right. It was a good ending.
And it's just, then it's like, oh, well, never mind. Let's do Toy Story 5. If they just played each of these as one-off another adventures of an ever-expanding cast and just having fun with it, then great. But I just don't want there to be a dramatic big ending where, oh, this is it. This is like, this is the end of the road for these characters and whatever. Just don't give me that. Just play it off as, hey, we're having fun. This is a fun adventure. And yeah, there'll be a Toy Story 6 and we're all okay with that. So
You're saying don't treat Buzz and Woody like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, where it's over at the end of the movie and then suddenly magically somehow everything's okay and then we're making another one.
Don't
It's
call
like,
it
no,
the final chapter or whatever. Just
end it.
say, look, this is the next chapter, and
Or not
that's
end it.
cool.
Got you.
And I think too, it looks like from the trailer that they're downplaying Woody and Buzz's role a little bit, which I
Yeah.
think is probably
Wise.
smart because
Yeah.
it's like if you want this franchise to continue, you've got 20 some characters now in this thing that could become the leads. And it looks like more of this is a Jesse and some other characters lead movie, which I think is cool. And Buzz and Woody are a little more like brought in as extra cast members to help out, which I think is great. So, let it breathe a little bit, let it continue on, let it build these characters up and keep having fun with it. So that's fine. I'm okay with it. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the trailers I had to share, Chris. Of the three, remember we had Pressure, we had Over Your Dead Body, and Toy Story 5. Which of the three are you the most intrigued by and wanting to see? If you had to watch one of those three right now, they are all next door in our movie theater. Which one would you want to see?
I mean, because I think it probably guarantees a good time, and I will like it, and I will laugh, and I'm not worried because it's really lame. It's the known quantity. It's Toy Story 5.
Yeah, because the other two, we don't have as much. There's not as much confidence built up that it's going to work. I mean, I think Jorma Tacome definitely has a good pedigree. We like his stuff, but comedy, dark comedy like that is also could be hit or miss. It could work, could not work. So, and then a Pressure is just going to be, it's got all the makings of being, I think, a good World War II drama.
Sure.
It's just, you never know if it's going to hit right, the way they tell the story or not. So we'll see. Okay, good deal. Chris, we are at the end of our episode, end of our time together every week. And we always like to end the show with you giving us a recommendation of a film that you have seen and you can recommend to us, as opposed to ones that we're just speculating on with the trailers. So what do you have for us today as a recommendation to share this week, Chris?
So relax, Alan. You have seen this film. We actually brought this film as part of our Foot Candle Film Festival in 2025. It is A Little Prayer, directed by Angus McLaughlin. And it is not out yet on streaming as of the time of this recording, but according to sources, it will be on Amazon Prime March 3rd. And it's been digitally available. Usually I try to have it streaming as opposed to just rentable, but this one will be streaming, supposedly on Amazon Prime March 3rd.
Okay.
But it tells the story. It's a loving father grapples with how to protect his daughter-in-law when he discovers that his son is having an affair in a sensitive and searching portrait of a Southern family. So kind of an interesting, like a father trying to protect his daughter-in-law. The father is played by David Strathairn, which always a fan of his. He's good in everything he is. Celia Weston plays the wife, and she's also really good. The daughter or the daughter-in-law, I believe, is Jane Levy.
Jane Levy, yes.
And she's really good. So it's kind of a subtle, it was, I believe, a lot of it was shot in Winston-Salem.
It was in
North Carolina.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina area. Shot almost predominantly. And so and Angus, the director, is from that area as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it's just I really like the film. It's, 91 minutes, which sometimes, with dramas or whatever is a nice sweet spot. So I highly recommend it. It's A Little Prayer. It should be streaming soon, but maybe by the time the episode's released, if not shortly thereafter, on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I was actually really surprised. I was watching the Independent Film Awards show the other night, and A Little Prayer was actually nominated for, I think it was Best Screenplay.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, and we should mention Angus McLaughlin. He also wrote the screenplay for Junebug. Some people may remember that film, or with Amy Adams, it was a kind of big breakout for her, but he was involved with that film, but he wrote and directed this film.
Yeah, but I was really happy to see it getting some attention at that level as well. And it's a really good film.
Yeah.
So very good recommendation. Highly recommended as well from my end. Very good. Well acted.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely some good performances in there.
And it's
all
not,
the way through.
It has, I guess you could say, some kind of funny things in it. But it feels very real. Like, sometimes when you watch films, things just seem very heightened or not very realistic portrayals of real people. And this just feels very lived in, very naturally acted. It's just really solid. So yeah, A Little Prayer.
Yeah, actually, Independent Spirit Awards, it was nominated for Best Screenplay and Best Supporting Performance by Jane Levy.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was well deserved. Yeah. So good. All right, good recommendation. Well, I think that wraps us up for today. Some good movies talked about today. How to Make a Killing, we were both positive on and recommend checking out for a pretty good time at the movie theater. We saw some trailers for, I'll say all three, I think, look promising and interesting. I'm actually excited to see all three of the films we showed trailers for. And I will absolutely echo your recommendation of A Little Prayer as well for people to check out. So, Chris, with that, anybody that has any thoughts, feedback, ideas, questions, concerns, anything to share with us, how can they do that with us?
You can send an email to info@footcandle.org. You can leave us a voicemail via the contact page on the mesh.tv website. You can follow us on Facebook at Foot Candle Film Society, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. We're just simply Foot Candle Film. Al and I are also on Letterboxd, where we try to track what we're seeing and leave quick takes if we can. Do us a favor, if you like the podcast, consider giving us a star rating, write a review, or share with friends or whatever service you receive your favorite podcast on, because it could help us reach new listeners, and we'd appreciate that.
All right. That will wrap us up for today. Thanks, everybody, for listening to Foot Candle Films. We'll be back next time. Take care.
See you in the ticket line.
Watch films in the company of like-minded people in the dark. Watch films in the underground. We won't let anyone know where you are. The films that don't make it to Carmike at the mall, or ones that were famous when Grandpa would watch films out of the reverence of the heritage of an art. Watch films through the courtesy of Foot Candle Film Society.
Special thanks to Carpal Tuller for the show theme music. For more about Carpal Tuller, visit www.carpaltuller.com. You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.